Today we continue to listen Sīlavanta Sutta. In this sutta, Venerable Sariputra said, "My friend Magutika, if a virtuous bhikkhu sees the five aggregates of clinging as impermanent, suffering, non-self, and so on, there is the possibility that he may reach the stage of stream entry, and he may become a Sotapanna. After having seen the truth and realized the Dhamma for himself, Sotapanna have their own understanding. Sotapanna do not have to turn to other people. Sotapanna do not have to turn to other teachers. Shadanataye Niweta Saddadina. Sotapanna is endowed with four qualities. He has unshakable faith in the Buddha, unshakable faith in the Dhamma, unshakable faith in the Sangha, and he has very pure sila. So here is one story. Sotapanna have only one teacher, true teacher of who is Buddha. So there was a woman who was the wife of a Brahmin. The Brahmin was not a follower of the Buddha, but the woman, the wife, was a Sotapanna. Both of them invited their own religious teachers to their house and offered food. So Brahmin offered food to his teacher, and the wife offered to Buddha and the members of the Sangha. So when the Brahmin invited his Brahmin teachers to his house for food, the wife helped him prepare and offered whatever help was needed when serving the Brahmin teachers. When it was the wife's turn, the Brahmin just went away. The husband did not want to see the Buddha and members of the Sangha. So one day, the husband invited his Brahmin teacher to his house. He told his wife he had invited the Brahmin teacher to his house. The wife asked, "What do you want me to do?" And the husband said, "I don't want you to do anything, just don't utter the name of your teacher Buddha. Whenever you sleep, or you drop something, or you fall." So the wife was in the habit of saying Namo Buddhassa or Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. The wife was in the habit of saying whenever she slept or something happened. Then the wife said, I cannot promise that. I cannot avoid saying the name of my teacher Buddha. Then the Brahmin said, Woman, even the gate of a village where 100 families live can be closed. Surely you can close your mouth, which is just 2-finger breadth in size. The wife said, No, I cannot do that. I cannot, I cannot close my mouth. Then the Brahmin took his sword and threatened his wife. I will cut you to pieces if you say so much as a word about your teacher Buddha. The wife replied, You may cut me, you may kill me, you may do whatever you like to me, but I cannot stop from uttering the name of my teacher Buddha. And the next day, when the food was served to the Brahmins, she helped her husband serve food to the Brahmins. At that time, accidentally, she had a pain in her leg, so she said, Namo Dasa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. When the Brahmins heard this, saying Namo Dasa, etc., they were very angry. So they abused and scolded the Brahmin and then went away. And the Brahmin was very angry. He told his wife he would go to the Buddha and ask a question. Buddha will not be able to answer this way or that way. This way, he will defeat the Buddha. So the husband went to the Buddha and asked him, Killing what is good? Buddha said, killing anger is good. Now the Brahmin was so pleased by the answer that he became a disciple of the Buddha. Later he became a monk and became an arhat. So it is clear that no one can threaten a Sotapanna, even though it is with the threat of the loss of his life or her life, not to have faith in the true Buddha, not to have faith in the true Dharma and true Sangha. So Sotapanna is very firm in his confidence in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, triple gem. He or she has unshakable confidence in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. So Sotapanna will not be reborn in the four woeful states. Sotapanna will not be reborn in any of the four woeful states. Why? Because he or she will not do anything that will cause him or her to be reborn there. That we must understand clearly. It is not that a Sotapanna can kill a living being and then he will not be reborn in the four woeful states. as a result of such a deed. Actually, Sotapanna is not reborn in the four woeful states because he will not do any akusala. He is incapable of doing any unwholesome deeds that will lead him to be reborn in the four woeful states. So whether a person is a Buddhajana, ordinary worldling, or Sotapanna, if he breaks any one of the five precepts, he will go down to the lower realms, four woeful states. So Sotapanna is incapable of doing any akusala, any unwholesome deeds that will lead him to be reborn in the four woeful states. That is why Sotapanna is said to be free from rebirth in the four woeful states. So Sotapanna is a person who gets into the current of the eightfold noble path. Sotapanna. Sotapanna is sure to reach Nibbana, the ocean of Nirvana. So what is Nibbana? Nibbana Banna Lokotara Sinkatam. Nibbana is supramundane in Pali. Lokotara, Loka and Uttara, that means transcending the Loka. So Loka here means the walls of the five aggregates of clinging, Upadanakanda. Nibbana is called Lokotara because it transcends the five aggregates of clinging or the walls of five aggregates. Chatu mega jnanena sichikatabham. Nibbana is to be realized by the knowledge of the four paths. Nibbana is not nothingness. Nibbana is something. Nibbana can be realized by the knowledge of the four paths. That means Nibbana is a direct experience for those yogi who have gained enlightenment. Only when a person gains enlightenment, his mind or her mind can take Nibbana as an object. At the moment of enlightenment, Megacita path consciousness arises. That Megacita takes Nibbana as object. So those yogi who have experienced Mega and Phala, path and fruition, can experience Nibbana, or they can take Nibbana as object directly. But for Buddhajana, for worldlings, unenlightened beings, it is not direct knowledge. It is inferential knowledge, numana. So Nibbana is to be realized by the knowledge of the four paths, four mega. That means Nibbana is a direct experience for any of those yogis who have gained any one of the four path knowledges. Megapalana Maramana Buddha. Nibbana becomes an object to the mega impala, path and fruition, path and fruits. That means it is the objects of path and fruit consciousness. It is the object of mega impala citas. So when yogis see what is called eradications of mental defilements, yogi can infer that there is something which is not a conditioned phenomena and which is not a concept, and that is the object of mega impala. That object is Nibbana. By inference, those yogis who have not yet reached enlightenment can understand through thinking in this way that Nibbana is the objects of mega impala, path and fruits. So when yogis see or yogi understand the eradications of mental defilements, yogi can infer there must be some knowledge which can accomplish the eradication of mental defilements. It is only the knowledge that can take Nibbana as object that can eradicate mental defilements. So Nibbana is direct experience to those yogis who have attained enlightenment, but for others yogis, Nibbana should be understood through inference, Anumana. So Vana Sinkataya Tanaya Nikandata. Nibbana is the departure from craving, which is an entanglement. Now the word Nibbana is explained here as composed of Ni and Vana. You have to understand Pali grammar to know why V becomes B. That is the domain of grammar. The word Nibbana is composed of the words Ni and Vana. Vana is explained to mean entanglement or stitching together. The stitching together is what? Stitching together is nothing but craving, tanha. So long as there is craving, there will be rebirth. Craving is like a thread that combines one thing with another. The stitching or that thread is called vana in Pali, and ni means getting out of. So nibbana means getting out of craving. getting out of craving means Nibbana cannot be objects of craving. Craving cannot take Nibbana as object. Nibbana is beyond the range of craving. Also, there is no craving in Nibbana. Nibbana is said to be out of vana, out of craving. That is why it is called Nibbana. Another explanation is Nibbati Nibbana, to be blown out or to be extinguished. Extinguishing of the worldly, the flames of greed, extinguishing of the worldly, the flames of anger, delusion, etc. So Nibbana is called Nibbana because through Nibbana, the fires of greed, hatred, and delusion are extinguished. That is why it is called Nibbana. So for so long as we are entangled by craving, we remain bound in samsara. So long as there is craving, we cannot get out of samsara. But when all craving has been eradicated, yogi attains nibbana, deliverance from the cycle of birth, aging, and death. So after becoming a Sotapanna, what must yogi do? After becoming a Sotapanna, yogi have to stop meditating or continue practicing meditation. In both the Sīlavanta Sutta and Sotapanna Sutta, Venerable Mahakutika asks the question, Avuso Sariputra, oh my friend Sariputra, what are the things that a bhikkhu who is a stream enterer should carefully attend to? What are the things that a Sotapanna should reflect upon? Venerable Sariputra replied, Avuso Kutika, my friends, Kutika, a bhikkhu who is a stream enterer, should carefully attend to the 5 aggregates, subject to clinging as impermanence, as suffering, as non-self, etc. When a bhikkhu who is a stream enterer carefully attend thus to these 5 aggregates subject to clinging, it is possible that he may realize the fruits of one's returning. According to the Venerable Sariputra, a Sotapanna should be mindful of the same aggregates of clinging that were the objects of his meditation before he reached his present stage. So a Putujana, a worldlings practice vipassana on the 5 aggregates of clinging and reach the stage of Sotapanna. And as a Sotapanna, Sotapanna practice on the same 5 aggregates of clinging, which may lead him to the second stage of enlightenment. So if a person who has reached the first stage wants to reach the second stage, what must yogi do? Yogi must practice vipassana meditation again. So vipassana meditation is not a practice to be done once in a while and then forgotten. After reaching the first stage, a disciple stay practice vipassana meditation. And as a result of vipassana meditation, yogi can reach the second stage, which is known as once returning. So once returner is called Sakadagami in Pali. Sakadagami is made up of Saka, once, and Agami, coming. Once coming here means once coming back. The disciple who reached the second stage of enlightenment must come back to this human world once. But first, he will be reborn among the celestial beings. After he dies from the celestial life, he will be reborn in the human world. Because he comes back to this world only one time, he is called a once returner. So a Sakadagami actually has 2 more rebirths, not 1 more. One as a celestial beings, and the next as a human beings. After coming back to this human world once, in this life, he will reach the other higher stages of enlightenment, and we make an end to suffering. So what mental defilements does Sakadagami abandon? Unlike a Sotapanna who abandons 3 factors, a Sakadagami does not eradicate any particular mental defilements. His achievement in making the remaining mental defilements weaker or thinner, particularly sensual desire, kamachanda, and will, vyabhada. So Sakadagami state has sensual desire and will, but these 2 and the remaining mental defilements arise in a Sakadagami's mind very infrequently, not as frequently as they do in the minds of Putujana Warlings and perhaps Sotapannas. When they do arise, they are scattered and weak, thin, like a thin layer of cloud, apapatalanviya, the layer of cloud, and the wings of a fly, makikamatanviya. They are so thin and occur so seldom that Although we can say that Sakadagami have mental defilements, the minds of Sakadagamis are very pure. So how much degree of Kamichanda, Abhyavara, sensual desire and anger Sakadagami have? How much degree of sensual desire? So there was a man. The man thought he was a Sakadagami, and he revealed his friends who are, who are also very learned. So one of them said to him, "No, you cannot be a Sakadagami because you still lead a household life. You still have family. You cannot be a Sakadagami." Then the deluded man said, "Sakadagami still has sensual desire and ill will, so it is allowable." So his friends pointed out to him some passage in the commentaries. According to some of the commentaries, if this much gross sensual desire will arise in the minds of a Sakadagami, he should not lead a household life or married life. So in the commentaries, there are two different opinions given by the teachers. Opinion one, the opinion of a minority was that when a Sakadagami has a family and is still leading a household life, he must also have a sensual desire. But opinion two, the opinion of the majority was no, the mental defilements that arise in the minds of Sakadagami are so thin that there cannot be sensual desire in the minds of a Sakadagami. So people may speculate, what about having a family and having sons and daughters? The commentaries gave different causes of conception, such as conception can take place just by touching. Conception can take place just by hearing the sounds, and so on. But teacher pointed out that Sakadagami cannot have such gross sensual desire in his mind. And Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw did not give any decision about this. Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw just said, since it could be difficult for scientists nowadays to accept that conception can take place just by touching, conception can take place just by hearing, the opinions of some teachers should also be considered, not to refute it altogether. So he did not offer any definite opinion here. But we should consider that the opinion of some teacher cannot be refuted totally, since it may be difficult for people to believe that conception can take place just by touching or hearing the sounds. And then do enlightened yogi know what mental defilements they have eradicated and what mental defilements remain to be eradicated? Do they know or do they not know? After the attainment of Mega, the newly successful yogi is met by certain thoughts processes in which he reflects upon his attainment. These processes also almost always follow the attainment itself. They cause reflection on these five things: Mega Palanja Nibbana Pichavagati Panito, that is Mega Path, Pala fruition, and Nibbana. Hinekile Seseja Pichavagati Wanawa, mental defilements that have been eradicated and mental defilements that are not, that are yet to be eradicated. So there is no fixed rule that all five kinds of reflection must take place with everybody. It is said in the books that some people will definitely reflect on the first three: Mega, Phala, and Nibbana, path, fruition, and Nibbana. But they may or they may not reflect on the remaining two: the defilements that have been eradicated and the defilements that remain. If they fail to reflect on these two, they won't even know which mental defilements they have eradicated and which are remaining. And during the time of the Buddha's cousin Mahanama was a Sakadagami. Though he thought that he had eradicated all his mental defilements, he found that some mental defilements still arose in his mind. When they arose, Mahanama was aware of them and consulted the Buddha as to why mental defilements were still appearing. And Buddha told him that it was because he had not reflected on the eradicated mental defilements and those that had remained. So even an enlightened person may not know which mental defilements he has eradicated and which defilements remain with him. Only when he makes two kinds of reflection, he will find out. And the commentary said that if a person does not know beforehand that some mental defilements are eradicated and some are not, he will be unable to tell which mental defilements are eradicated and which remain. Here, knowing beforehand means a person needs to have some knowledge. Knowledge of the Desana, knowledge of the books, to understand the necessity for the two kinds of reflection. And what should a disciple do? What should disciple do? Venerable Mahakotika's question was, what are the things that a once returner Sakadagami should carefully attend to? And the answer is the same. So Kutika, oh my friend Kutika, a bhikkhu who is once returner should carefully attend to these five aggregates, subject to clinging as impermanence, as suffering, as non-self. When a bhikkhu who is a once returner carefully attends thus to these five aggregates of clinging, it is possible that he may realize the fruits of non-returning. So after becoming a Sakadagami, if he practices vipassana meditation, there is a possibility that he will reach the next higher stage of enlightenment. That is a stage of non-returning, the third stage of enlightenment. The once returner Sakadagami returns to this human world only once, but the non-returner Anāgāmi does not return to this human world or to the celestial world. He will not be reborn as a human being or a celestial being. The non-returner will have one rebirth as a Brahma in the pure abode, Sodavasa, and may have 5 rebirths, one in each of the 5 realms of pure abode. So in the highest realms of pure abode, he will become an arahant and will attain final liberation. So non-returner is called Anāgāmi. The word is made up of na and agami. Na means not and agami means coming. If you put together, they means not coming back. The Anāgāmi eradicates some more mental defilements, including complete eradication of kamaraga, sensual desire, and vyabhada, ill will. After becoming an Anāgāmi, a disciple will not be attached to any sense objects. He will not be able to go on leading a married life and will be incapable of getting angry. Along with ill will, he eradicates the fear that is said to be a kind of dosa, anger. So Anāgāmi will not be afraid of anything at all, and will not get angry even when there is provocation. Anāgāmi will not attach to anything in the human worlds and celestial worlds. These are some attributes of one who is able to get rid of sensual desire and evil, kamaraga and vyabhata. Here there's two stories to illustrate Anāgāmi's abandoning sensual desire. The first story, there was a man, his name was Oga. Oga became an Anāgāmi. So Oga had 4 wives. After becoming an Anāgāmi, Oga called his wives together and told them, "Oh, my sisters, now I am keeping the 5 precepts with abstinence from sex as the fifth." That means he took the 5 precepts, but instead of the usual third place, Kamesumechachara, Viramani Sikkhapada, the third place for abstinence, he moved it to the 5th place. So that is called noble conduct as the 5th. Noble conduct, Abramacharya, Viramani as the 5th. Since he had become an Anāgāmi, he naturally took the precepts, and so he said, "I'm now keeping 5 precepts with abstinence from sex as the 5th. So now you may go on living here, or you may take whatever you want and go back to your parents' house, or just tell me if you want to get another man, and I will give you to him." Oga said. Then the eldest wife said, "Okay, Oga, please give me to a certain man." The eldest wife said. So he took his wife with his left hand and took the water bowl in the right hand and gave his wife to that man. And he said, "So it is wonderful that I did not feel any regret. I did not feel any envy or any ill will when I gave my wife away. Since becoming an Anāgāmi, he had no interest in sensual things. He had no interest even in inanimate objects of sense. So he was able to give up his wives very easily. And he said, there is one wonderful thing in me. So these are the qualities of Anāgāmi. They have no sensual desire and ill will. So we will continue next week. Anāgāmi is some story, and the Arahant. So we have to stop our discourse for today. By practicing vipassana meditation, by observing every phenomena occurring at the six senses, by noting rising, falling, sitting, touching, standing, walking, seeing, hearing, smelling, etc., continuously and meticulously, may all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future. So